Yes, we are here. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks and I'm here with my son Connor Banks. Connor is going to help me out during the live today, and thanks for always hanging in there. We always have some issues with when I schedule a live video. There's always a couple minutes delay, and I don't know why it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, but it will not let me start early, so I can't do that troubleshooting step before the scheduled time. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, this is my son Connor. Say hi, Connor.
Hey.
So Connor is here to help me tonight. We are gonna make, what are we making tonight?
Bubble pizza.
Bubble pizza. So you've probably seen me share how much Connor really likes the bubble pizza. Connor and I have the same love for the same kinds of food. I eat more kinds of food than he does, but we love pizza. And so tonight he is gonna help me out. Before we go over all the prizes and all the details, and before we get started, I just wanna thank everybody for all of your sweet messages this week. I've had a really hard week with my back. I'm still having a hard time, but I appreciate you guys sending me love and prayers. It really means a lot. And initially I asked Connor, I said, I might need you to help me because of my back, but then I was like, why don't you just help me no matter what? And so I'm glad that I asked him to help me, and he of course is willing. So Connor, we're gonna give away some prizes during the live. It's been a long time since Connor has been on live with me. Probably he was about 2 feet tall the last time he went live with me. He probably doesn't remember that. But as you guys are joining, let us know where you're watching from, and let us know if you're watching this live or if you happen to be catching the replay so that we know. Now, I need a bigger kitchen because Connor and I are here, and we also have our new deluxe air fryer and oven. So, excuse me, you can come back. All right, we don't have enough room in this kitchen for both of us and for this air fryer. So we got really creative, and I used my photo prop stand, which is on wheels, to set up the air fryer, and I think that's gonna actually be a good setup going forward when I do videos. But let's give away some prizes before we make a bubble pizza. How's it sound?
Good.
All right, so I'm gonna be giving away some of the things he's been using. So tell us what these are.
These are pizza scissors.
Pizza scissors, and the winner is Lola Vera, and I'm gonna see Lola this week. So Lola, I will hand deliver these to you. And then the next prize is our oven gloves, and the winner of the oven gloves is Janice Burke. So I will get all these prizes out. I'm gonna say this week only because I'm still moving really slowly with my back and trying to make sure that I don't hurt myself again, because I have a couple parties this week. So I may not be packaging things until I am feeling a little bit better. But those are two things. And also, I decided, don't think I told Connor this.
I love this.
He loves this product. So I decided we're gonna give one of these away. It's not a new product. Tell us what this is and tell us why you like it. It's called the Citrus Juicer and Zester. He may not know the official name of that.
I have great Parmesan with it.
You use it to grate Parmesan cheese, which is what we're gonna do tonight. So if you want, you can help me with that too. This piece here, show them how that piece goes on there. So this is the juicer. So Connor likes to make limoncello lemonade, and he uses this for his lemons. So it's a multi-purpose product. So the winner of this is Toya Adkins. So Toya, I hope you're watching, and we will get this out to you later this week. All right, the next prize, I'm trying to put this down. The next prize, I don't have all these in here because it's just, I'm giving away so many things, it's too much stuff. So the orange creamsicle mix, Linda Sims, you will win that. And I'm not sure if I have your current address, so make sure you text me or email me so that I have your current address so I can send that to you. And then the half pie pan and server is going to Claudia Curtis. The kitchen squeegee tool is going to Shirley Graham. The decorative food cutter is going to Robin Hatfield. Now, those are the live prizes, so everybody who registered ahead of time, you got entered into those giveaways. I have some bigger prizes that I'm gonna be giving away. After the party is over, I'll be giving away a deluxe air fryer and oven. I'm gonna be giving away our Foundations knife set. I love this knife set. I'm gonna be using knives in here. The really cool thing is these have little magnets, so when you put them in there, they just sort of cling to this. You didn't know that? And if you don't want to put it on the counter, you can fold this flat and put it inside of a drawer if you prefer to do it that way. Sorry, I bumped the air fryer. So, but this is the Foundations knife set. I love that so much. and it's a little heavy with my, I'm trying not to hurt myself, you guys. All right, I'm also gonna be giving away the guacamole keeper, or serve and save, I think is what it's called. I have named it whatever I wanted, right? Along with our avocado tool and our guacamole mix, that will be given away after the party, and then our chilled serving tray. So lots of great prizes. Now, the air fryer and the guacamole serve and save will not be available until April the 1st. And so if you shop today through April the 1st, you're gonna get double entries into the drawing for the giveaways. And so I wanted to make sure that I still gave everybody the opportunity for the double entries for when the air fryer and the guacamole serve and save comes available. All right, we're gonna make bubble pizza, and let's see, I will give you guys some tips along the way. So I'm gonna set this aside, and I've got my catalog here. Now you can stay right there. So we've got our air fryer here. We're gonna be using the sync button. So I'm gonna have you stand up just a little bit. There's a sync finish button here, and what that does is it's gonna allow me to cook two things at the same time. Connor doesn't normally do this because he's usually making pizza all by itself, but we're gonna make pizza and broccoli because I decided we're gonna add some vegetables in the mix, even though Connor is not gonna eat any of this. So what we did ahead of time, this is our small oven baking pan. It is equivalent, hold on just a second. He's getting ahead of himself here. This is equivalent to a 9x13 pan, not the dimensions, but the actual, the volume will hold the same as a 9x13 pan. So that's a good way for you to convert your recipes if you're making something that you normally make in the oven and you wanna make it in the deluxe air fryer and oven. In here, we have, Connor, we opened the freezer and grabbed the bag of these. If you guys don't remember when I showed you guys how to make the Land of Nod cinnamon rolls, these are the same rolls. So we're using Rhodes dinner rolls. These, on the package is deceiving because they look like they're already cooked, but they're actually frozen. I mean, they're hard as a rock dough balls. We're gonna put these back in the freezer because we will use those, I'm sure, to make another pizza. But what we have done is we went ahead and thawed these out. Now, tell everybody, Connor, how we thaw these out when, because Connor's made this recipe more than I have. I made it once and he's made it, I think, every other time. So tell us how we got to this stage from the frozen. What did we do?
So you put 16 of these rolls into the oven on proof.
On proof. So a lot of ovens have a proof setting. You can go ahead and start cutting them up.
For about an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes. He has perfected it. I was going to do this almost 2 hours ahead, and he told me, Mom, that's too long. You don't need them in there that long. So we did about an hour and 15 minutes on proof, and I did use the kitchen spritzer to spray the pan before we put the rolls in there, just so we can skip that step now, and so that they didn't stick to the pan while they were proofing in the oven or defrosting. These will rise even more once they're baked. So let's talk about the other ingredients, and I didn't grab a cutting mat, so let me get that. I kept looking and I'm like, I'm missing something, but I couldn't figure out what it was. Isn't that funny how your brain works? We're gonna shred some cheese, and we're also going to add in some pepperoni. I have some Parmesan cheese here, but we're gonna open up some mozzarella, and my motto is, if a little cheese is good, what's the rest?
A lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese is great. My dad taught me that, actually. So Connor's grandpa, he said, when I practiced my very first Pampered Chef party for him and my sister, I told him I was gonna measure out this cheese, and he was like,
measure by heart.
He said, measure with your heart. He told me if I measured the cheese, he wasn't gonna eat it. So I just grated it all, and I've never looked back since. So we're gonna use the adjustable coarse grater to shred the mozzarella cheese, and you can see that this opens up. So if you wanted to, you could shred this over your pan. I like to use it this way to give me a little bit more support. Now I hold on to the block of cheese until I get down to a short piece, and then I will put that into the food holder there. So what we're gonna do, tell everybody what you did there. You took 16 rolls, and how many times did you cut them? Into halves or fourths?
You cut them into fourths.
All right, so we cut them into fourths, and we're gonna put pizza sauce on there. All right, so we're gonna try something. I'm going to let you guys know that I have been struggling with the 5-in-1 opener on vacuum sealed jars, but I realized, or I learned, that I was missing a step. And some of you may have this, and maybe you've had trouble with it too, or maybe you wanna get it and you I don't want you to have trouble when you get it. So couple of things. I thought, like our old one, I've got to stop comparing things to things we had in the past because they weren't designed the same. The old one, you just popped it one time and that was it. For these, you do it a couple of times. So it doesn't like pop. You don't hear the jar pop. You're just loosening it around the edges. And my friend Laura, she said, hold it kind of like this, like you're going to stab something. And so you're just going to hook it on the bottom, pull up. Oops, there it was. I'm going to try this one. My back is not right. There we go. I need to move it up here to me. So you're gonna hook it and pull up. I felt it there. So you're gonna find a little edge that it hooks on. And so these jars, there we go, they have a little ripple. So it's not gonna fit under every single place. Just find that little notch and pull up and look. It was so easy to get that off. So I'm gonna let Connor put the sauce on. And Connor, everybody already knows this. What did we learn about pizza sauce after you open the jar?
Don't put it back in the cabinet.
Don't put it back in the cabinet. So I'm sure everybody watching, we're going to check all the comments and I'm going to answer all your questions at the end. But that was one of our homeschool lessons last week. Don't put vacuum sealed jars back in the pantry after you open them. So we always going to put them back in the fridge now, right, Connor?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and Connor's not supposed to stir with the metal pan, a metal spoon. This is what he does. You guys have people that live with you that don't do things the way you tell them, right? So if they're cooking or cleaning, I try to not give them too much of a hard time. When I make this, I don't stir the pasta sauce around. I just drizzle it on the top. So you can do it however way you want. Just don't scratch my pan. All right, I've got. I should have gone a little bit shorter on this cheese, and there we go. Put it in. Now I can fit it in there. All right, so we have the rolls, we have the pasta sauce or pizza sauce, and then do you put the pepperoni on at the very end?
I put it on after the cheese.
After the cheese, okay. So put this lid on there. So you're ready for the cheese, right? All right, so while he puts that on, I'm gonna use one of his other favorites, the citrus juicer and zesters, but I'm gonna put the zester plate on here. Yep, go for it. And I'm going to show you something. So when you have a big piece of cheese just like this, you can just rub it back and forth just like this, okay, to get the cheese that you want. So it's made for zesting, but I use this almost exclusively for Parmesan cheese because I love that it captures it in that little cup on the bottom, right? Now, if you end up with these little pieces, we have learned that we borrow a part from the cup zester. We take this little piece, which is sold as a replacement part, and then you can use it on here to finish shredding the cheese. So if you end up with a little sliver like this, guess what? You can just toss it in there. I don't approve of throwing away cheese, so just put those in there. Is that enough Parmesan? That's more than enough, right?
It's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay, see, we're related. Okay, so while he finishes that up, he's gonna put Parmesan cheese, and then he's gonna add in some pepperonis. Are you gonna use the pizza scissors again? Or
the pepperonis, I just put them on hold.
you just put them on hold? Okay. So when I make it, slow down, I don't want you to cut yourself on live TV. I've done that, it's not fun. All right, so while he's doing that, I'm gonna preheat the air fryer. So what I'm gonna do, and you're not gonna be able to see this all that well because it's kind of far away and we are in the way. So I'm gonna just turn this on. I wanna make sure I had it plugged in. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap the sync finish button. We're gonna make some broccoli here in a second. It won't take long to get that together. And it's gonna automatically tell you to choose the bottom temperature. Okay, try not to make so much noise. We're gonna do air fry. I'm gonna press the button. Then on this one is a little bit different than our previous air fryer. You're gonna press the wheel to adjust the, press the temperature icon. All right, and then you can adjust the temperature to 325. We're gonna press this button. The default time is 25 minutes, but we only need this for 15. So after I set the bottom, it goes up to the top, and you're gonna press, whoops, let's see, it was already there. I'm gonna do custom, so I press the button. I'm gonna do 350, which is default there, and I'm gonna increase this to 20 minutes. press the wheel, and what's gonna happen is it says preheat and hold. So if you can't see that, let me zoom in real quick. So preheat and hold. So this is preheating, this is on hold because it's not time yet for us to put it in there. I'm gonna work really quickly. Are we not putting all this cheese on there?
No.
We're not?
We don't need that much.
Oh, I thought we were putting all the cheese. Okay, let me get another cutting mat. And let's see.
You can use a cutting mat to like scrape up the cheese.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, it works really well.
All right, what we're gonna do, I washed off a crown of broccoli here in my colander. So I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna just really quickly, since our preheat only takes a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I'm gonna really quickly get the broccoli done. And can you do this without making tons of noise?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna cover the pan with foil, because you do want to cover that for the first round of cooking. All right, so we're gonna just cut these into some smaller pieces and we're gonna put them in a bowl. I'm gonna toss some of our Parmesan garlic oil dipping seasoning. I hope that foil is not too loud. Go ahead.
Make sure you
Go ahead and finish.
You have to make sure you get the right grip on it.
You've got to get the right grip. Okay. So we're going to take some of our garlic Parmesan oil. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat because it won't be long before I'm ready to answer your questions. I like to give this a good shake, and this is a brand new bottle, so all of that Parmesan and garlic had kind of settled to the bottom. Connor loves garlic Parmesan. He just doesn't like broccoli. And we measure most things with our heart. Actually, I'm really proud of Connor because a lot of people don't learn to cook without a recipe, and then they have a hard time cooking in life without a recipe. So the best thing you can do for yourself, anybody, and that doesn't matter how young or how old you are, learn to cook without a recipe. And most of that is just trusting that what you like, you can make happen in your kitchen, right? You don't have to worry about that. We'll clean it up when we're done. All right, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more. When you're baking, you need to use accurate measurements. When you're cooking, it's not as important when you're just cooking. When you're baking, it's important. He said it smells good, just not the broccoli. Okay, now I wanna show you guys a few things. We're gonna bake this on this small oven baking sheet. And remember, this air fryer is hot on the outside, so not yet. This baking sheet only comes with the small oven bakeware set. And that set includes this small brownie pan, which we have not made brownies in yet. It also includes the small oven baking pan, which is the same thing that Connor's using there. But check this out. This doubles as a lid. Now, I wouldn't recommend using this with that, and we probably should spray the foil with some oil so that it doesn't stick to the cheese or the dough, but you don't want to use the lid on this because then it might just all stick and it's going to be hard to get it off. But this can be used as a lid. So we're going to spray this with oil using my kitchen spritzer. It started squeaking.
I know, I hate that.
I don't know why it's squeaking, but we're gonna spray this with oil, and when you're done with the kitchen spritzer, you wanna burp it. It's just like a baby. Burp it, let all the air out, and then tighten it and put the lid back on, and that will keep it from clogging up. We're gonna take our broccoli. Now, I will be the only one to eat this, so that's why there's not a whole lot here. I'll have some for today and some for tomorrow. Now, this is still preheating, so it says preheat and hold. So when it tells me to add the food, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the food to both compartments at the same time. This takes longer than this for the first set. Now we are gonna put this in a little bit longer, but I wanted to show you the sink finish option, not yet. Because after we take the foil off, after that 15 minutes is up, we're gonna put it in for another 10 minutes. All right, you see how it says add food? Hang on one second. I'm gonna back this up because we need to open both doors and I need room to do that. All right, so we're gonna put this on the air fryer tray here. And then we're gonna put this up here. I'm gonna close the door and press start. this says, you see how this is counting down? You may not be able to see it. It's counting down from 20 minutes here. This still says hold. Okay, so Connor's never seen this because he's not done two things at once. So the time difference was 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, this bottom compartment is going to start cooking. And then halfway through that, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the pan all the way around. So let's talk about some of the things that you might not know about the air fryer, especially if you have Pampered Chef's old air fryer, or maybe you have another brand air fryer. This air fryer, because it has two compartments, the fan is not on the top. The fan is on the right side. So it's blowing that air this direction. So in the old air fryer, you would just swap the trays halfway through. For these, you're gonna take your tray, you're gonna take it out, and you're gonna flip it 180 degrees. So what was on the right is now gonna be on the left. This is the air frying tray that comes with your air fryer. This is the old air fryer tray. Can you guys see the size difference here? So it's a very big difference. And when you have two trays in here, you're gonna have, with this air fryer, you have 2.5 times the cooking space. I believe that includes the top oven as well. You can use both of them at the same time, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna set this aside, and a couple of other tips that I wanna share with you while we're waiting on this is, let's see. When you are taking a regular oven recipe and you want to make it in this new deluxe air fryer and oven. So summer's coming, we live in Florida, Connor hates the hot, he hates the heat. He's the only one of us that would rather live somewhere that's a little bit cooler climate. But if you live somewhere where it gets hot and you don't want to heat up your kitchen this summer, this is going to be a great option because it doesn't heat up your kitchen like using the stove and the oven does. So for traditional recipes, I recommend that you use the convection bake setting that is on the bottom. You're going to set the fan to low. It's actually default. So when you choose convection bake, the fan is default. I'm gonna have you stand up just a second. There is a fan button here. Whoops, turned off the lights. Too many chefs in the kitchen, right? You're okay. Hopefully you guys can, whoops, I didn't finish tapping it. There we go. So if you can see, it still says hold right here. The fan is on high right now because on air fry, it is a high setting, but when it's on convection bake, it automatically defaults to the low fan. But you can change the fan speed, you can turn a light on. So if you push this button, it turns a light on inside of the air fryer so that you can see what's happening without looking inside. It also will automatically turn that light on when there's 1 minute of cooking time left. So you have a bottom button here, top button here, sync finish. You can do the top and the bottom without sync finish, and you would just set the top and the bottom. When you're doing toast, you can choose how many slices of toast or bagels or English muffins that you have, and you can choose the shade, how dark you want it to be. There's also a +1 on the timer button, so if you needed to add time, you can do that. And there's a time button here and here for the top and the bottom. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about some of the great things about this. Now, I'm not gonna open it now, but for the crumb trays, to put them in and to take them out, you have to open the big door. Now, since this is on hold, I'm gonna show you to open the single doors. You have this little button right here that you're gonna press to open this, okay? So you can do the same thing on the top, but if you wanna open both doors like we did a minute ago, you're gonna just pull down on the top door right here and put both things in, or to take the crumb trays in and out. It's not cooking yet. It's on hold, but in 42 seconds, they're gonna sync together and they're gonna cook at the same time, which is pretty cool. The other thing is, I recommend that you decrease the time 25 to 50 degrees. That's actually Pampered Chef's recommendation when you're using the convection bake setting. I've gone ahead on most recipes and I've reduced the heat by, or the temperature by 50 degrees. And you wanna also monitor the cooking time. So don't cook it as long. If you guys saw the lemon blueberry cake that I shared a couple of days ago, did you like that, or you didn't like the blueberries in it?
I didn't.
But you liked the cake? Okay, so he didn't like the blueberries, but he liked the cake. that recipe was from another website and it had a 60-minute cook time. All right, did you hear that beep? So now you see, Connor, the timers are the same, okay? I don't know why it beeped at us again. What, is that the same thing beeping at us?
No,
I don't know why it's beeping at us.
It does that when it starts to cook on.
Okay, I was confused. I didn't know it did that twice. So we're gonna let this continue going, and then when it's done, the broccoli will be done. I do like to put it on broil for just a couple of minutes at the end, just to kind of get it nice and brown. For the pizza, is it 10 minutes, Connor?
So
yes.
You do 15, then flip it, and then
Well,
the
half
rest of it, or do half of 15, flip it, and then do the other half, and then 10 minutes, flip it after 5 minutes, and then put it back.
You don't have to flip it after the 5 minutes on that one, but he does. He follows the instructions. When it says to flip the food, he flips the pan, right? Okay, let me see. I think I got everything on there. Monitor the time. If you're interested in buying the air fryer, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be available on April the 1st. That's just a couple of days away. And it will be $349. There's a 2-year warranty on the new air fryer. A couple of things that are different on this one and the old one. The old air fryer stayed cool to the touch on the outside, but because this is stainless on the outside, it will get hot. And I do recommend that you get these stainless steel wipes to clean the stainless steel. I tried using just like a wet cloth, and I really wasn't pleased with it. And so Keith picked these up today. My friend Christina recommended using the wipes. So he picked these up today, and it just got it so super clean. I was very, very impressed with that. All right, are you wanting to stay around for questions, or you want to bow out? It's up to you. You're gonna go? Okay, why don't you tell everybody bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me, Connor. I know the comments, there'll be lots of comments for you, so thanks for helping me out tonight. I appreciate it.
If you need anything.
All right, thank you. All right, you guys, so I will get to your questions here in just a few minutes, but like I said, the deluxe air fryer and oven will be available on April 1st for $349. If you want to host a party with me and get an extra entry into the drawing, you can get it for 60% off. It's $139.60 if you get it with that 60% discount. Our other appliances are also available for April hosts. I'm just going to read through this list because we have a little bit of time here, and then I'll answer all your questions. So real quick, I'm going to give you the 60% off price for all the appliances that are part of our April host special. The deluxe stand mixer is $159.60. The deluxe electric grill and griddle is $147.60. The deluxe cooking blender, $139.60. Deluxe coffee machine, $119.60. And I told you wrong. The deluxe grill and griddle set comes with the waffle plates. It is $147.60. The grill on its own is $119.60. This print is like super fine. The deluxe multi-cooker, which I love, I just made yogurt in that a couple days ago, $91.60. The Rock Crock slow cooker set, $86. The ice cream maker, it's almost time for everybody in the world to be making ice cream. We make ice cream all the time, all year round in Florida here. It's $39.80. The electric pop and stir, $39.80. Twist and chop, $39.60. Just the base to the Rock Crock is $39. The slow cooker base, $39.60. The milk frother, $35.60, and that is the host only special price, 60% off when you host with me in the month of April. My parties are super easy, and I do all the work. So all I ask is my host to invite their friends, and I provide the invitation for you and help you with all of that. So let me make sure I don't have any questions, or so I don't have any things I need to tell you before I answer your questions. This is the drip tray that comes with the air fryer. I wasn't using that tonight. And when I take out the pizza, if you have these, they are awesome. I wish I had kept more of them. This is called silicone store. It was a silicone storage lid of some sort. Like you put it on top of a 9x13 pan and it seals it, but I almost always use it exclusively as a trivet. And with this air fryer, I love it because the trays are so big. Let me show you here. You can just take it out and put it on there. So if you have these, don't get rid of them. You will love them. Maybe Pampered Chef will bring them back. And I like these because they have a little hook on them. And actually, I should have got 2 of them out. So I'll show you where I store the other one, or I store them both. I have a little command hook on the inside of my cabinet door, and I can just take that off. And so I'll have one for the broccoli and one for the pizza, which I'm excited to eat this pizza too. I love pizza, it's so good. You could use biscuit dough in place of the yeast rolls if you like. I personally much prefer a yeast roll over a biscuit for pizza, but you could do either one to save you some time on that. I recommend our silicone tools to use on the small oven bakeware, and I love that those are PFAS free, and they are super non-stick. You probably don't even need to spray them with oil, but I don't want you to scratch them. So I recommend our Turner silicone tools for that. And then your air fryer is going to come with the a use and care guide. So this tells you all the things that you need to know. I read this when I got it. You may have seen my post yesterday. I had made a video earlier in the week sharing how I was going to use parchment paper. Don't do what I did. I put parchment paper on the crumb tray on the top and the bottom. If you do that, your parchment paper will catch on fire. I'm glad I was standing right beside it to take care of it quickly. But don't put parchment paper on the crumb tray. So I read all of this, but there's a lot in here to learn, and I learned the hard way that I didn't remember everything that I read. So definitely look at your use and care. Hopefully I will be a good guide for you. I've deleted the video with the parchment paper. I'll try to make another one when my back is a little bit better and I can get back to my normal schedule here. We have just 8 minutes and 37 seconds left on both of these, and you're gonna get the deluxe air fryer and oven cooking guide. So this is very much like all of our other cooking guides. It goes over all of the presets, all of the accessories, tells you what you can cook where and how to cook it. It gives you, there's some actual recipes, but it has a guide, so a frozen food guide. So one of the things that I bought, I didn't even tell Connor I bought these because he would have probably already eaten them, but they have the guide for cooking mozzarella sticks. So I bought some frozen mozzarella sticks at the store, and it tells you what setting to put it on, and it tells you what pan or rack to use. So I love that it just tells you everything that you need to know. So frozen food guide, a poultry and pork guide. I'm going to be cooking a turkey breast tenderloin. I don't think that they have that on here, but I'm going to look back at what I've done before in the other air fryer, and I'm going to follow those tips. They have a fish and seafood guide. I will never need that. I don't cook fish or seafood. I did make some tempura shrimp yesterday, but they are from Costco, and I just put them in the air fryer. All right, so do you see how this beeped at us and it says flip food? So what we're going to do, we're going to open just the bottom. I'm going to take these oven mitts, and I really love these. They appear to be really, really big, but the key is to get your hand all the way in. And I like this because I have really nice control, and I can flip this all the way around, close the door, and we have 7 minutes left on that. So love those oven gloves. I've given up trying to keep them clean because Connor's cooking for himself. And again, if they're cooking or cleaning for themselves, I try to not complain too much. So I have just decided I'm not going to worry about how dirty those get. There's also a guide for vegetables, a guide for dehydrated foods. This cinnamon roll bake is so good. I was skeptical on this because I'm kind of a cinnamon roll snob, and this uses canned cinnamon rolls, which are not what I usually get. I like to use the same rolls we use to make this pizza. But this is really, really good. And I was also not sure about the blueberry topping. I thought blueberries and cinnamon rolls, it just really wasn't like meshing in my brain. But I was so pleased with how good that is. So that's a recipe in here that I've tried. There's homemade crab rangoon, garlic parmesan wings, air fried salmon and broccoli. Again, I'll make the broccoli all day long, but I'm not going to make the salmon. The lemon and herb roast chicken, that's really good. That was one of the first recipes I made in the air fryer. Spinach Alfredo pizza, blackberry and goat cheese grilled sandwiches, sheet pan and gnocchi and tomato bread. I plan to make the sheet pan and gnocchi. Probably won't make the tomato bread because I'll be the only one that eats it. The roasted strawberry shortcake. I had hoped that I was going to recreate a dessert recipe that Keith and I had last week, or I guess it was last Saturday night or last Sunday night. We went out for our anniversary, and we went to Connor's Steakhouse here in Sarasota. It was so good, and they gave us a strawberry shortcake as our anniversary dessert, and it's a butter cake, and it was just so good. So I had planned to recreate that, but with all my back issues this week, I had to just pick and choose what I could do and not do. I couldn't even walk on Tuesday. Wednesday, I wasn't doing much better. Thursday, I had a procedure, and I'm still just moving really slowly. So stay tuned for that. I had hoped to show you guys that tonight, but it is what it is. But let's get to the questions, because we're going to be done with this in just a little bit. Clean off my phone here. All right. So if you have questions, now's the time to put them in the chat. I'm going to go through here and I'm going to answer all your questions while we finish up. So Janice asked, what if you don't have a proof button on your oven? Yes, you can just put them on the counter. I should have said that. So using the proof button or the proof setting in our oven, it just speeds up the process to thaw them out. You could thaw them out overnight in the fridge. If you thaw them out on the counter, they're going to be like this big. You don't want that to happen unless that's what you want when you wake up in the morning. But you put them on the counter. Usually takes maybe 3 hours for them to thaw out at room temperature. So that was a good question, and thanks for asking since I didn't address that. I was a little distracted because I'm used to being in here all by myself, so I apologize for that. All right, and I can't believe that he didn't put all the cheese on there. I'm gonna have a talk with him about that. Okay. Lisa said this counts as homeschool course, right? It does, but I told him I would pay him to help me tonight because I actually was worried that I might not even be able to move very much. So I'd already agreed to pay him. So he's getting paid for tonight too. Let's see. So Lisa, the new air fryer does require preheating. It only takes 5 to 6 minutes for that preheat to happen. So it's way faster than your oven. It took me a good week and a half of having the air fryer before I remembered that because I'm so used to the old one not needing to be preheated. So you will have to retrain your brain when you get that. All right, let's see. Let me see. Connor's doing, I know. I appreciate you guys complimenting Connor. He did such a great job. The oil, Tabitha, is amazing. So this dipping oil, it's not really for dipping. They actually made it specifically for air frying. So it's really, really good. Shirley, yes, you can use foil in both parts of the oven. And the only issue was I should not have put parchment paper on that crumb tray, and I did read it says don't put anything like foil or anything on the crumb tray. So just leave the crumb trays alone. This is an oven in the top, not an air fryer, and I just wasn't thinking about that when I put the parchment paper there, but the heating element in this is underneath the pan. So that's why that parchment paper touched the heating element and it had no chance, right? All right, let's see. Ada, you do not put the oil in the fridge, just leave it open. And Kim, that's funny, I didn't know you didn't like broccoli. Let's see. Okay, how do you burp the spritzer? Okay, so Mary asked how do you burp the spritzer. So let me put a little bit of air in here. So that's how you pump the pressure in here so that it will spray like an aerosol can, but this is just olive oil in here. When you're done spraying, you want to just unscrew the cap. I don't know if you guys could hear that, it just shh. Okay, you're burping the bottle so that that pressure doesn't stay built up in there because it will push the oil out and it will get clogged and your spritzer won't work. So that's a really, really important thing to burp it when you're done. And also, don't store this over your stove because that moisture will rise and it also can make it clogged up and gunky. Just store it somewhere to the right or the left is fine. I store mine in the cabinet to the right of the stove. Let's see. Take a sip of water here. Lisa made me this cup. Thank you, Lisa. All right. So Cindy asked if any of the cookware is able to be used in the oven instead of just the air fryer. So I'm guessing that you're asking, I gotta stop turning around here. I think Cindy's asking about these, and they can be used in the oven. Let me find them in the catalog so that I can give you the exact answer to the question. Let's see. Use my little cheat sheet. Here we go. Page 33. So these, they fit in the deluxe air fryer and oven. They also work in full-size ovens and other countertop ovens. So if you have another brand countertop oven, these will work in a lot of those. I did make a post in my group. I took this to Target and we just tried them in a bunch of different brands. So I posted that so that you guys can see it. These are reinforced with wire in the rim. The pans are built to resist warping, even with frequent use. Has a silicone-based coating that prevents sticking and makes cleanup easier. They are PFAS free and they're made without PFOA. They're heat safe to 450 degrees. They're refrigerator and freezer safe. So see, I learned a lot. That's why I love when you guys ask questions, because it helps me. All right, let's see what we got here. So it says ready. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the broccoli for the moment. I'm gonna put it on broil in a second. But we're gonna take out the pizza. And yeah, I gotta teach him to spray the top, because now I know why there's so much gunk on his. We increased the number of rolls. The first time we made this, we made it with 12. Now we use 16 because why not? We need to make a bigger pizza. Doesn't that look so good? So we're gonna put this back in, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press the X button. We're gonna do the bottom air fry. Air fry, hang on, I gotta cheat. I haven't made this as many times as Connor. 325, so we're gonna press the temperature. I think I would eat it just the way it is right now, because it looks perfect. 10 minutes, it says preheat. It's already hot, so you can just press the wheel again to bypass it. That's really important for you guys to know that, because I was totally confused when I used this the first few times. I'm like, but it's already hot. Why is it saying preheat? Now, on the top, I want to put this on broil. Oops. So I'm going to put it, broil. And it has an automatic time of 3 minutes. I'm going to just do 1. It says preheat. I can press that. So that'll be ready in about 10 minutes. So, all right. Back to business here. So Cindy, thank you for asking that question. Yes, Tabitha, the doors can open together and separate. I'm going to put these on because my air fryer is on wheels and I don't want it to go anywhere. To open both doors at the same time, you just pull on this, and my countertop's in the way here. That's how you open both doors at the same time. To open just one door, there's a little button. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There's a button right here. I'm not sure if you can see that from this angle. And you just press that and pull down. So they open together or separately. And if you want to take the crumb trays in or out, you have to open the big door both at the same time, or you're not going to be able to move that crumb tray. Let's see. All right, so the broccoli's ready, because remember I just put it on broil for just a second there. So I'll go ahead and take it out. You could put cheese on top of this if you wanted, but isn't that so good? I ate this yesterday. I made broccoli in it yesterday, and it's just so easy and so good. Let's see. So the top is, so Lisa asked, is the top like a toaster oven? So the top is an oven, the bottom is an air fryer. So it's 2 different appliances all in one. So if you have a toaster oven and you have an air fryer right now, you can get rid of 2 appliances and replace it with 1. And one thing that I didn't tell you guys, and I didn't think to have the other air fryer, I wouldn't have been able to pick it up to show you anyways, but this is only, the footprint of the new air fryer is only 6 inches wider than the original air fryer. It looks so much bigger, but the footprint is only 6 inches wider. So the height is pretty much the same. It's just a little bit wider than the old one. And so it just does so much more than the original air fryer. Cindy asked if you'll be able to get a cooking guide for the old air fryer. Cindy, I would have to look and see. Usually we do carry things, replacement parts for a certain time after we get rid of something. It really just depends on if they have any of those left. So if you search cooking guide or deluxe air fryer on our website, you should be able to see. It would be under replacement parts if we have that. Lori asked, can you still put the trays in the dishwasher? So the metal trays, yes. These baking sheets, they're not dishwasher safe. yeah, freezer and refrigerator safe, but not dishwasher safe. So they're super easy to clean. Wash them just with a little sponge and some soap. What are the measurements of the new air fryer tray? I do not have a measuring tape, but they are around 12. I think it's 11 by 12, something like that. So I can't give you the exact measurements, but I believe it's, oh, I know what we can do. Here. Hang on. Let's see. This has a, all right, so it's 12 and a half by 12. 12 and a half by 12. Hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. And Tabitha, you have to make the lemon blueberry cake. It is so good. It's one of the best cakes I've made in a very, very long time. And it was so, so easy to make. All right, Juanita, I don't know the measurements of the crumb tray, and I can't measure those because this is hot. I can't get them out right now. Lisa, I like your thinking. April Fool's Day, purchase the air fryer. April 1st is the day after tomorrow, not tomorrow. I think that came up in the comments. And I'll tell Connor that you got all these sweet comments that you sent to him. I appreciated him helping me tonight. Let's see. Can Bubble Up Pizza be tweaked for the original air fryer? Ada, yes, it could. It would be a smaller one. You would have to use an approved product for that. You could use the ceramic pot. You could use the, let's see, it says flip food, and Connor said he flips it. So I'm gonna do it the way he says, because he's made this. I made it once, and he's made it every other time. Woo-wee, I can't wait to help him eat that. So, let's see, I lost my train of thought. You could make this pizza in the ceramic pot. You could do a very small version if you have the signature 8-inch saute pan that the handle comes off of. You could do that. I might be drawing a blank, but if you look at the approved list for the old air fryer, just pick a vessel that you can, like that doesn't, not a cooking tray, because you don't want that dough and sauce coming through the tray. Okay, Lisa asked about the drip tray. Does it not have to stay inside? Let me see if I can get this crumb tray out, because if you can see it, you'll understand. This is a big difference from the old air fryer. All right, so this is the crumb tray, and it's just flat, so it doesn't have like a it's not a thick pan. So this is the drip tray. You can put this, whoops, I dropped that on the ground and I don't know if I can get that up. I don't know if I can get down there to get it. This goes underneath, this can go on the crumb tray, but if you use this as a drip tray, you can only use one tray in the air fryer, because it kind of goes in the same place that the first tray would slide in. So the bottom part of this will hold 2 trays, but if you need the drip tray, you're gonna only be able to use one. But the chicken recipe, that the lemon chicken, roasted chicken, the spatchcock chicken, it doesn't use a drip tray, and I was really hesitant to do that. But the juices, it wasn't super juicy. I was surprised, but it just went right on the crumb tray, and then you just take the crumb tray out and you clean it up that way. So I hope that that helps. Let's see. Mary, you can use parchment paper in the old air fryer, yes. I'm making sure I'm not missing any questions. All right, so when it beeps to turn the tray, do you have to hit a button to start again, or does it automatically start? So Linda, you don't have to push anything. It just keeps, the time just keeps going, and you just turn the tray around. So don't stress. Like, if the time is going, you know, the 30, 60 seconds, however long it takes you to flip it, it's not going to make a difference. So you don't have to worry about pausing it or anything like that. So, oh, and Linda said she didn't know that I was having back problems. So for those of you that don't know, I broke my back 20 years ago, and unfortunately, it has caused a whole host of problems for me. And this week I bent down to get some frozen bananas out of the freezer to make Connor and I's protein shake, and my back just went out. It was so bad I couldn't even do my party that night. So I don't know if Ann is watching, but she was so gracious. We moved her party to this week. So it's just been a really, really hard week. So I haven't been able to sit down since Tuesday, except briefly in the car. I'm standing up with my computer. I had to move it. It's not been fun. So I'm either laying or I'm standing. There's nothing in between. All right, in 25 seconds, this light is going to automatically come on. So hopefully we will see that. So let's see. Okay, so Katrina asked me to repeat the winners because it was cutting out. I'm so sorry. I don't know if we were making too much noise or what was going on. Hopefully most everybody was able to hear that. So here's the winners. The pizza scissors are for Lola Vera, oven gloves, Janice Burke, citrus juicer and zester, Toya Adkins, orange creamsicle mix. I don't know if you guys saw the light came on. Orange creamsicle mix is for Linda Sims. The half pie pan and server, Claudia Curtis. The kitchen squeegee tool is Shirley Graham. Decorative food cutter is Robin Hatfield. And then the prizes to be given away after the party's over: the deluxe air fryer and oven, the Foundations knife set, the guacamole serve and save with an avocado tool and a guacamole mix, and the chilled serving tray. Hopefully that helps. I'm gonna see if I can get this off the floor. Whew. So I can get this pizza out and show you guys, and then we'll finish the questions. So we have 20 seconds. Let's see if I can answer a couple more questions while we're waiting on that. Patty, I do not remember what time you registered, but I did do the drawing about an hour before the event started. So, but I'm sorry if you missed it. All right. Ada said Connor's paid in bubble pizza. Yeah, I think he wants money. I think he needs money for his video games. All right. So here we have the bubble pizza. And I'm gonna just turn this off. And it says goodbye. I'm gonna slide this just a little bit out of the way there. But look at this bubble pizza. Whoops. Doesn't this just look so good? I like it a little bit less brown, but this is how Connor makes it, and this is how he likes it, and he's gonna be the one to eat most of this. So there's the bubble pizza, and the recipes for that, I believe, I can't remember if I posted this link or not. I'm gonna post it in the chat now. Hopefully I don't lose, yeah. The broccoli is not in this post. I'm gonna try to remember to take a picture of that, but the pizza is there. All right. Okay, Anita, she said she wants to try the pizza oil. So I actually put the pizza oil on this when I made it the first time. It's so good. But what I have, let me see if I can get it out of the, see if I can move this without hurting myself. I'll just pull out one. This is not the pizza oil, but I have another one in there with pizza oil. So this, I've got these marinating for my parties this week. So this is cheese cubes with, this is the Italian oil, and I have another container with the pizza oil. They are so good. I'm telling you, while I'm making dinner, I'll just get those out and I'll just be munching on the cheese cubes while I'm making dinner. It's great. I could make a meal out of cheese. I know other people are like that too. And thank you all for the kind words about my back. All right. Yes, Anita, you have to burp your spritzer. I'm getting like super hot from this pizza. I'm gonna move it out of the way. I'm hot enough as it is. I don't need that making me even more hot. I have my fan going and everything. All right, Dawn, I'm glad I can help you with another party for April. And yes, Jojo, the aroma in here is amazing. Let's see. Cindy, I'd love to do a party for you too. All right, Andrea said, do you have to move it away from the wall to allow the air to circulate correctly? Yes, Andrea, and I don't have this item here. So I have been using this in my pantry laundry room because it just seems to work better in there with all the other things that I have in here. But I posted in my group the other day there's this, it's almost like a wooden platform and it has wheels on it. Before I was using that, this does have handles on each side and you can just slide it or pull it towards, you know, away from that wall, because you do want it about, 6 inches away from the wall. And this tray is perfect because it has little wheels on it and you just slide it. Lisa, it reminds me of the wheels that you got for Christian for his Cricut. It's kind of like that. You can just kind of slide it, and then when you're done, you can push it back. I highly recommend that you get one of those. I was very pleased with it. Amy asked what parts are dishwasher safe and which parts aren't. The racks are dishwasher safe. Nothing else is dishwasher safe. It's like the small baking pans, the drip tray, those are not dishwasher safe, but the actual air fryer trays, those are dishwasher safe. Jenny asked, are there air vents only on the side? So Jenny, there's only an air vent on the right side. There's no, I don't know if you meant air vent or fan. There are vents on the sides, but the fan, I think that's what you're asking about. The fan blows from right to left, so it circulates inside, but you just rotate the pan 180 degrees so that the heat coming off that fan doesn't overcook the right side. The heating element in the top is underneath the pan. I hope that answered the question. Amy asked, will I continue to use the old air fryer? So yes, so far, Keith and Christian have had no interest in learning how to use the new air fryer. So they're just using the old one for when they need it. But I will probably still keep it because it's easy for me to keep them both and have extra space if I wanted to still use it. Let's see. Hey Deb, I'm so glad you're watching me on the big screen. I love that. I'm sorry it took you so long to figure out how to comment. And for anybody who doesn't know this, if you're watching and don't know how to comment, as long as you are logged in to your Google account when you're on YouTube. So your Google owns YouTube. So you just log in with your Google account and you can comment when you're here. So Jenny asked where I got the recipe for the lemon blueberry cake and this pizza. So I borrowed the lemon cake from the Ninja Foodie website. It's a great place to go because they have an oven that's similar in size and has some great recipes. So their dual oven has a section there, and that lemon cake was there. I did reduce the time. Their instructions were to cook it for 60 minutes, and it definitely did not take that long. It only took 40 minutes. The pizza recipe is one that I just kind of made up. Pampered Chef had an old bubble up pizza recipe years ago. I'm pretty sure, well, I know it used biscuits. Actually, the very first Pampered Chef party I hosted at my mom's house before I became a consultant. I actually tried to become a consultant that day, but I was only 16 and I wasn't old enough to be a consultant. But she made bubble up pizza using canned biscuits, and it's a great recipe. But like I said earlier, I prefer a yeast roll for pizza instead of biscuit dough. So I just kind of modified what we did then. I don't even have that recipe anymore. I probably do somewhere, but I just sort of winged it to make that up. And then let's see. Marcella, yes, this pizza would be like a Detroit style pizza. Great question. And Leothea, I adjusted the time and temp on the blueberry cake. I don't have that recipe in front of me, but it is posted in my group, and I did include there the adjustments. I don't think, honestly, I can't remember what I reduced the temperature to, but I know I reduced the cooking time from 60 minutes to 40 minutes. Yes, Lisa, the wheels are so fun. You're awesome to get those for Christian, and they work. That's the best way to describe how that thing works. Yes, the top and the sides of this unit get hot. This is warm, but if I kept my hand on there, it might burn it. There is little warnings on all sides. Let's see. So Katrina asked, this is a great question, are you able to put in 2 separate orders? Yes, so the 5-in-1 opener, it is on special, I think through today. Let me look and just double check. If you want to get in on the 5-in-1 opener special, hang on one second, I want to make sure. I think today is the last day, but I want to make sure that I'm telling everybody the correct thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So if you buy 2 5-in-1 openers, you're going to get one for free. and that actually ends tomorrow. So if you want in on the special for the 5-in-1 opener, then place an order today or tomorrow. Add 3 of these to your cart, and 1 of them will be for free. You have to add 3 to get 1 for free. You'll pay for 2 and you'll get 1 for free. That's through tomorrow. And if you want to also get the air fryer or the guacamole keeper, you have to place a second order. You can use the same party link, but it will be a separate order. And if you're buying the air fryer, you're going to spend enough to get free shipping. So if you're not spending enough to get free shipping, then you would just have to pay shipping again. So if you're, you need to weigh that to decide if it's worth it to place 2 orders to get this special, or wait until the first when you want to get everything that you can get. I hope that made sense. So, all right, let's see. Lisa, the old air fryer does have a rotisserie, and I know that is a hot topic about the air fryer. So many people are not happy that we don't have a rotisserie in here, and I'm one of those people. I use the rotating basket all the time, and I didn't use the rotisserie very often, but I did use a rotating basket. So I'm gonna have to be adapting my recipes to just using the cooking trays for that. But I love that there is so much more cooking space in this one so that I can do more instead of having to do 2 batches in the basket. So Pampered Chef did a ton of research from customers and hosts and consultants to find out how many people use the rotisserie. And what they found was the people who used it couldn't live without it, but that not very many people used it. And so they chose not to add a rotisserie because the numbers of people who used it were very low in their research, right? Let's see. Lori mentioned that she got the tray that I mentioned earlier, that you can set this on to roll it. She said she has one for her grill and griddle and one for the air fryer. Her air fryer is hopefully on its way. All right, Dawn asked, how long did the pizza bake once the pan was flipped? So the first time that we put that in, the pizza was in there for 15 minutes on the first round. So after 7.5 minutes, it said flip the food. So we just flipped the pan and then took the foil off. And then the second time, it was in there for 10 minutes. And after 5 minutes, we flipped that around. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. I'm sorry, Kim. A lot of these flash sales, Pampered Chef doesn't give us any notice about them, and so I don't know about these things ahead of time. I do want to tell you guys that right now in our clearance outlet, Pampered Chef loaded a bunch of taste buds. That's also something that if you want some of those, I recommend that you place an order today because outlet items are tricky. If you put them in your cart and then you want me to add something later, if I unlock the cart and they're sold out, then you lose them. So if you want outlet stuff, go ahead and shop today. And then if you're wanting the air fryer or the guacamole keeper, just place another order on Tuesday for that. And Lisa, I'm sorry they didn't ask about the kebabs. I will tell you, I didn't use the skewers very often because I don't like doing anything over and over and over again. So that's why I made all the skewer recipes in the rotating basket. But I know I know a lot of people used it for those too. Tony, the tray that I was talking about, let me see if I can get a link for you. It is on Amazon. The link that I will post a link here for you, and it should take you to the size that I used. They sell different sizes, and Lori, maybe you can comment and tell me if you bought the same size for your deluxe grill and griddle. I have not been able to pick up any of our appliances this week, and so I have not been able to try any of the other appliances. I've just been trying to get well enough to be able to stand here tonight. So the one I bought for the air fryer is 21 by 15, and that is, it doesn't say like small, medium, and large, but I will post the link here so that you have it. This is for the what are we calling it? Some kind of a tray. It's called appliance sliders. So you put your appliance on top and it makes it easy for you to slide it back and forth. So, you know, up against the wall or away from the wall when you're using it. Also would be great for the pressure cooker, you know, because you want to pull it out and so you can direct the steam where you want it to go. They have several different choices there. Mine came with a coupon to buy another one. I don't know if Lori's came with a coupon in the box too. And Linda, I hope that they come back with something similar to the taste buds. I didn't know until the program was over, but thanks to all of you guys who subscribed, I had the most subscriptions of anybody in the company. And so they actually called me in December just to kind of like break the news to me. So I don't know why the other people weren't selling the subscriptions like I was, but I hope they come out with something. I've given some feedback and I will continue to do that. But I love the taste buds. So if you want some of those packets, they have some of, I noticed, I think at least 2, maybe it's just 1. I know the creamy jalapeno was on there, which is so good. That has like a, almost like a Mexican street corn chicken recipe that comes with it. Amazing. So that's in the outlet. So definitely get the taste bud stuff in the outlet if you can. Any other questions? We went over by 6 minutes and I apologize for that. I know I'm moving a little slower than I normally do and I apologize for that. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments and I'll check that again. I will get these prizes out hopefully by the end of the week, and the other prizes will be given after the party is over, so I will do the drawing for those after April the 5th. The party will submit on the 5th, and if you're interested in hosting a party in April, let me know, and I'll help you get an appliance for 60% off. And last chance for questions. I don't see any new ones, so you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will let you know when the next live event will be, sometime hopefully in April. I do not think I will have one in May. We are going on a vacation to Europe, and I have just decided I'm not, at this point, I'm not planning a live event for May. If that changes, I will let you know. But I'm going to just be focused on that because we're going to be gone quite a bit of time there. And so thank you also. Thank you, Ron. I just saw your comment. I appreciate it. And Barbara, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for giving Connor such a warm welcome. I think Christian is planning to join me maybe next month. So he and I talked about it, and there was not room for another chef in here. Even though he's little, we were just like, let's figure out what we can do, and he can maybe join me next month. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you next time, okay?